So just in response to this question, unfortunately, there aren't loads and loads of stories to tell. After they got married, they moved to Barnes for about a year, and that was the main time frame when they hung out with all their gay friends. So just to give you a bit of a visual, here is Winnie. Winnie's on the left, then next to her is her son Tony, my mum's husband, my mum, Sarah, and my nana. Now the story behind the dress that she's wearing is that when her first son got married, he insisted she wore a respectable grey suit. So when Tony and mum got married, she said to my mum, "Is it all right if I wear something a bit fancier?" And mum said, "You can wear what you want, Win." She did. And she wore this stunning purple satin dress. For anyone that's interested, this pub where they had the reception was probably the Maypole that's in Chigwell. It's still there, but I think it's shut down. So as you can see, they were a very handsome couple, and Tony was really good looking. And as you can imagine, he was a real hit when they hung out with the gay crowd. Now, Mum says back then she didn't come across many lesbians. I think that scene was even more underground. She does remember one time they went to a club. She can't remember where it is, but it was underground, and like literally underground, an underground club. And while the guys went off to get drinks, she was just standing on her own, leaning against a wall, and a lesbian woman came up to her and just started chatting her up. Mum was super naive, so she was only sort of 19 at this point, and had never met a lesbian before. They was just chatting away, having a lovely time. And when the boys came back from the bar, they just said to the woman who had, short cropped hair and was dressed like a guy, they just said, "Not that one," and she wandered off. Nothing weird happened. It was a very gentle little encounter, but Mum was just baffled and a little flattered. So Tony and my mum had three main best friends that they would hang out with, and that would be Eddie, who was a hairdresser and who continued to cut Tony's hair for years after they left London, Edwin, who was a bar manager at the Sadler's Wells Theatre, and Bobby, who worked with him at the Sadler's Wells Theatre. What would usually happen is that Eddie would turn up in his car, pick them up, and they would go to a pub that they'd prearranged to go to, and it was often one that Winnie worked at. So Mum remembers that Winnie worked at the Duke of Clarence, which is in Brompton, I think, really close to Harrods. And it wasn't a gay bar as such, but if Winnie was working there, then they would all sort of bomb over. The general feeling was that there was safety in numbers, and when you'd find somewhere good to go, word would somehow spread and everyone would bundle to the same place. And Mum just remembers that whole time as so much fun. She said they were lovely, sweet men. She loved them so much. They were hilarious. They danced. They had a great time. It was a really happy time of her life. Just to end, here is the wonderful Winnie in her purple dress. Cheers, Win.